Megan Hicks of I Run Far, and I'm here with Kasie Enman. She's the second place finisher at today's 2014 Speedgoat 50k. Your first ultra marathon. Congratulations!
Thank you. Although I don't know if 50k really counts.
What? 31 miles? 31.2
Does it really
miles?
count?
Totally counts. I mean,
because I don't consider myself an ultra marathoner.
Not yet.
No.
What do your legs tell you?
My legs are feeling it.
Legs tell you maybe you became an ultra marathoner today?
My feet, my legs, everything. I'm feeling it.
Well, tell us about your day. Like, tell us how things started out, because you went out pretty hard, like up that hill. No?
My whole goal was to not go out hard and not to go for the preem.
Okay.
So I let Anna go for the preem.
Yep. So you were a couple minutes back at the top of that. So you must have.
I just ran what felt like a sustainable, comfortable effort that was like an efficient way to run for me. I was just focused on efficiency at that point and trying to just, sometimes when you slow it too much down, then you're just running in a way that's not natural for you. And
using up extra energy.
You kind of are.
Yeah.
And I was finding early on that running, just short steps, short quick running steps, was a lot less energy intensive than trying to speed hike. Every time I switched over to speed hiking, my heart rate would go up and my muscles would start really hurting.
Okay.
And every time I'd run, just short, quick steps, I would feel much more in control.
Huh.
So I tried to do, what felt better.
So you come from the lowlands of the...
Yes, I live at about 1,100 feet.
And so you spent a whole lot of time up above 10,000 feet today. How'd that feel altitude-wise?
Yeah. I had some issues, all of which could be related to altitude. I had some tummy issues. I had some breathing issues, and I had some just muscles seizing up, possibly due to not getting enough oxygen. I don't know. All of those things could have been related to other things, but they kind of all been because of the altitude. I definitely was not at advantage against my competitors.
Well, you seem to take advantage of that second, or I guess it was the first long downhill. You came over Hidden Peak about mile 8, a couple minutes behind Anna.
Yes.
But then next thing we knew, at the check-in at Pacific Mine about mile 15, you were ahead of her by a minute or two.
So
what happened on that downhill?
Yep. So I consider myself better at the downhills than at the climbing. So, and again, I just tried on the downhill to run in a way that was relaxed and not braking and just like fluid and just kind of what went naturally for me. Trying to keep it, realizing how much I had to go. I had this tattoo on my arm.
Elevation tag.
And I looked at it often. I was like, okay, how much more? I need to conserve my energy. But basically the first half of that first downhill is when I actually had to stop and visit the bushes for the moment. So I did not catch Anna at that point. And then the second half of that downhill, I felt a lot better and could run, and that's when I caught up to Anna, and we ran together for a little bit and chatted, and I just said, let me just take the lead and I'll just run, I'll take a turn.
Okay.
And then I just ran, and then I didn't see her again until the turnaround, at which point, I was a little bit ahead.
Yep. And then you opened up quite a gap on her.
Yeah, people were saying that.
You probably didn't know that.
Didn't know that.
There's a world going on behind you. You must have been feeling pretty decent on that second climb.
Second climb, because I had paced myself pretty well in the first half, and I was like, sweet, I'm in the second half. Second half is good. And I was still able to do my little short running steps, so I was just doing okay at that point. That was the end of feeling okay.
Because you came into Mineral Basin, which is about mile 20, and then after that is kind of a gnarly digger climb up to the top of Mount Baldy, right?
Yeah, with that grass, the open field. Yeah, and I knew that was coming, so I wasn't I was just expecting that. But that's when the muscles in my legs started getting really fatigued. But everyone else was moving really slowly too, so it wasn't too bad. But I had a feeling if any of the women behind me, being longer distance ultra runners, were were used to running this longer distances. I had a feeling somebody was going to be gaining on me at that point because I was not moving as quickly anymore.
And there was somebody gaining on you.
There
was Anna Frost behind you.
And I had seen at the turnaround like 5 other women that seemed not very far behind. Like I saw them all at the turnaround. So I was like, man, there could be like a pack of women that go by me. So, but I was like, it's too early. You cannot at this altitude push it. So I had to just keep bringing my thoughts back to like, what do I need to do to keep moving forward in the way that I can keep moving forward? And so I just kept doing that, and unfortunately I got slower and slower. I was really waiting for finally getting to the top of the last climb, but then of course Carl had thrown some more climbs on the final descent, so
what a nasty man!
A little rough.
So take us to that point where you were passed by Anna, maybe a mile or 2 left to go in the last climb?
Yeah, she caught up, and I had seen through the switchbacks that she was coming, and I was like, she's running, and she's moving faster than me. And, but it was, she caught me, and we just talked, we tried to run together. She tried to, like, just move into my pace and just carry each other up the hill, but I was like, slowly walking at that point. So
you were doing the best you could with what you had.
And then she was making sure that she didn't get caught by anybody else. So she just got ahead. And then I thought maybe there was a slight chance of catching her on the downhill, but the way my legs were seizing up, I went into sort of like finish mode. Okay. Like I was worried if I pushed it, I would be debilitated and like stuck with completely seized up body and not be able to like finish.
So here's the thing though, like I saw you at the top of the last climb, mile 26, Hidden Peak, and I'm not gonna lie, like you looked a little fried.
Looking bad.
And you were exactly 2 minutes behind Anna then. She passed you, put 2 minutes on you, but then you ended up finishing just under 2 minutes behind. So obviously you weren't cooked. It was like you were cooked for the uphills.
I was cooked for the uphills.
And you were able to.
And I was a little bit less nimble on the downhills.
Okay.
But so I wasn't able to make up time.
Yep.
But once I got to the downhills, I could run again.
Got it. And how did that last downhill feel? I mean, you passed the longest distance that you'd run after going over Hidden Peak, 26 miles, and you've entered into ultramarathon territory, whether you define it as that or not. How did that? Were you like pretty stoked that you're coming to the end of your first ultra? What was going through your head?
At that point, my heels were in searing pain, and I was just thinking about how ironic it was that this exact scenario played out exactly 2 years ago on this exact weekend at Kansai. So I was thinking about that because it was excruciatingly painful, and I was thinking about just each step and trying to just keep moving without falling down or completely bunking entirely.
So you were just focused on getting
I was really not thinking about the distance or anything.
The full
I was in the moment.
Wasn't going through your mind.
I was living in the moment.
Well, you lived in the moment. You lived through the moment. You survived your first ultra. Does this make you want to go back and run like 12-mile races, or do you think there are more experiments in ultras for you?
Yeah, I like to mix it up.
Okay.
So I get to a point where I've done a bunch of mountain races in the road, a bunch of mountain races in the mountains, and I want to get on the road and do a fast. It's a new word. Fast and flat race. So I'm like starting to get that itch, and I have plans to do some more road racing coming up. So and I also plans for more mountain races. I'm signed up for Kima. Okay. So we'll be doing another 50k. Yes. And my family and I will be in August all month. So Kima will be the end of that. We'll have been there. And I'll be a little more acclimated than I was today. Acclimated to some altitude, acclimated to... Kima's even harder than this one, I hear. Yeah. So this is a good training good step toward preparing for that. Yeah.
Well, congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Second place finish today. You're taking home some nice
Psyched I hung on to second.
Yeah.
Been trying to get in the top 3 these races.
Well, you did it today. And good luck to you in the racing the rest of your summer.
Thank you.
Okay, bonus question. You are here. You're a mama of 2. Yes. You're a young mama of 2. 2 babies at home.
Youngish. My children are young.
And you're here, you know, solo.
Yeah.
Free flying this weekend. Are you missing your family? Are you kind of enjoying a sleep in? What's going on mentally?
Yeah. I am that mom who pines for my alone time and being away, but then as soon as I am away, I miss them the entire time. And every time I see someone else with their young child, I'm jealous. I miss them, but I'll be back home tomorrow afternoon.
Mama's coming home.
Yep.